What's good? Mike is in the building. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. What we do on the channel, we ride around through New York City, have a good time, and gives you tips and tricks on how to maintain and install cool stuff on your Ducati. In today's video, we're gonna install the SE Project exhaust on the Ducati Hypermotard 939 SP. Super simple and easy install with amazing results. Here's what you're gonna need. Gloves, Loctite anti-seize lube, socket wrench, 16mm socket, and a 6mm tip hex socket, small spritz bottle, a spring puller, and lastly, your service manual for any torque spec and a torque wrench. Let's get to it.
So, just for the record, we're gonna take a socket wrench and we're gonna take a 16mm socket. You gotta loosen this bolt here. So what I'm doing right now, I'm loosening everything up. Nothing's gonna come out completely. See, there's enough play on here. I could move it fairly easy. Next step is going to be to loosen this bolt here. You're gonna need a socket wrench and you will also need a 6mm socket. You should slowly start noticing the exhaust loosening up. You can wiggle it. One of the tips that I'd like to give you guys when you're doing this installation, I've done plenty on the Monster and I've done on the Hyper now. One of the main things that I can actually tell you guys to do, I'd highly recommend organizing before starting to work. Put your tools, your socket wrench, Loctite, whatever you're gonna need, your gloves, put everything all together. Is gonna consolidate time and you won't have to spend time looking for things all over the place. Okay. You can see how it came out. There was a washer on the outside of that. I've seen people kind of struggle with. There's a little bottom area. You have to kind of wiggle it a little bit. Just take your time and don't rush it. It should come out pretty smoothly. Worst comes to worst, just unhinge this a little bit. Try to spread it apart. One thing about bikes, guys, you just don't want to force anything. They all tend to go pretty smooth in. So close. There we go. There we are. Took a little bit of finessing to get it out. Again, I try to take my time with all of these, man. Really not rush. Moving on, the bike is warm now. What we're gonna do, the first step, we're gonna put this pipe here. Just gonna finesse it a little bit. There we are. And again, keeping the same concept, not tightening anything down, basically loosely placing everything. Okay, so here we are. We have the pipe here. You're gonna see it says for racing use only. Really awesome. This thing sounds amazing. I have it on my Ducati Monster. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna put some lube here so it easily slides in. Once you start the bike up, it's gonna burn it right up. Should be pretty good. You can get this pretty much anywhere. You don't have to put a ridiculous amount of it in here, but just enough. Now also, you don't want to put it on this part of the pipe behind us, because that way when you slide it's gonna bunch up. So I'm gonna take my pinky here, just kinda, there you go. I'm gonna add the carbon fiber bracket that's gonna hold it, so I don't have to worry about sliding in later. All you're gonna need to do is basically slightly open this a little bit and then slide it in. There we are. gonna slide it in. I'm gonna slide these springs into these clips here. You can use a needle nose plier to kind of pull this in, or if you have like one of those clamps, which I don't have yet. All right, here we go. Second spring. That one down there. I'm gonna take this bolt for the hinge that goes right here. I'm gonna put a little Loctite for the bolt that goes here to hold the hinge. You guys know this is a Ducati. They tend to vibrate quite a bit. So anytime you're doing work on your Ducati, throwing a little blue Loctite in there just in case. I even do it sometimes when it's not even recommended because I just know the nature of my bikes. This is the bracket. You're gonna put the washer on the outside, and that same nut earlier that I put some Loctite in. Just gonna go in here. Again, keeping everything nice and loose. Nothing's really tight yet. Before we move any further, what we're gonna do is kind of somewhat align it. You can see I pushed this a little bit too far down. I'm gonna rotate that bracket here. Just rough placement, just get an idea. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Throw some Loctite on this bolt. Once you're accustomed to owning a Ducati, you'll know to always put Loctite whenever you're working on it. It's just the nature of the beast, guys. I'm gonna throw this on first. That. So in installing this piece, I'm seeing the bracket is pretty bare to the other passenger peg, and I have this little washer here, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna slide it in here just so it's not making any direct contact with vibration. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna cut a piece and then just lay it here. You can barely tell that that wasn't supposed to be there. You can see right here, and then now we look pretty good. Check your torque spec on your service manual and then start torquing things down and tightening it. Now we're pretty much working in reverse to when we originally started. I'm gonna move towards down here, start tightening things down already, and then make sure you check for your torque spec for your specific motorcycle. So So here's this final step that I think a lot of installation do not show. You're gonna take a little spritz bottle. You're going to spray a little bit of water here just to check for leaks. And then we're gonna start it up and check to see how good we are. This kind of confirms that everything is good to go. We don't have to worry about it. So let's start it up.
You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully you found some useful or helpful information that's going to help you down the line. Let me know in the comment section down below what you'd like to see me install on the Hypermotard, the radiator guard by Evotech, or some Ducati bike parts. Let me know down below. Catch you guys later.